Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights. Last episode, we happened to speak with Lady Arabeth to finish our training, only to end up with the academy we were in being attacked. We've been charging our way through hordes of goblins and a few mages in order to find our way towards where the Waterdavian creatures are being kept. They're probably through this door, hopefully we can keep them safe. Uh-oh.
No! I must escape!
Free the Yonti!
My arms are broken!
Well, so much for that. Whoever you two are, you are not much help. I think the creatures escaped.
Too late. The creatures are lost. The Academy students slain. No! This cannot be! How could this happen?
All is lost, Fenthic. The nymph has fled. The Yonti and the other creatures have escaped into the streets of the city. And where was Arabeth during all this?
I have come from Lady Arabeth. She sent me to protect the creatures.
You are the student she sent? Did Arabeth really think a whelp such as this could defend the Waterdavian creatures? She should have come herself. Is she really so blind, Fenthic?
Desther, I will have you speak no more ill of Lady Arabeth. She did what she thought was best.
Bah! I know of the feelings you and Lady Arabeth have for each other, but it does nothing to change the facts. She was wrong to bring the creatures here. I will leave you and your lady love to clean up this mess, Fenthic. I must go and make arrangements to recover the cure Arabeth so carelessly lost.
I need to speak to you.
Okay, Pavel. I owe you my life, Ken. Without you, I wouldn't have made it out of there. I could have died, just like my brother. You've got what it takes to be a great hero, Ken. Maybe even a legend. But this life isn't for me. I know that now. You just have to stick with it, Pavel. All I could think about in there was how afraid I was of dying. I wanted to curl up in a corner and just close my eyes to everything. Those aren't the thoughts of a hero. Thank you once more for saving me. I know you'll be a great hero someday, but I don't want to risk my neck for fame and fortune.
I'm no hero. I just want a nice, quiet life. I doubt our paths will cross again anytime soon. Goodbye, and good luck.
Farewell, Pavel.
You must forgive Dester. The strain of the Wailing Death weighs heavily on the Helmites. As their leader, Dester has worked long and hard to help ease the suffering of Neverwinter, and this most recent setback has upset him greatly. I'm Fenthic Moss, priest of Tyr and companion of the Lady Arabeth. You must be the student Arabeth told me about.
Yes, I am Ken. Desther and I arrived with reinforcements shortly after the attack began. We found Arabeth in the South Assembly Chamber, hard-pressed by dozens of the mysterious assailants. We managed to drive off the attackers, and Arabeth told us she had sent one of the students on ahead to defend the Waterdavian creatures. While Arabeth tended to the wounded, one of the mages who had arrived with the reinforcements teleported Desther and me to this room. Alas, we arrived to find the cages upturned, the creatures fleeing. Is the battle over, then? A few straggling goblins are all that remain of our attackers, but I fear we have lost this battle. The Waterdavian creatures are gone. We have no clues as to who planned the attack, and I doubt any prisoners we take will know anything about who is truly behind this. In any case, discovering their identity is secondary. Our first priority must be to recapture the Waterdavian creatures, so that we may extract a cure for the Wailing Death. I will help you in this task, Fenthic. From all accounts, you are a capable man, Ken. Arabeth told me the instructors at the Academy spoke very highly of you. I do not know what role you are to play in this, Ken. That is for my Lady Arabeth to decide. You must meet her at the Halls of Justice in the coming week. Lady Arabeth will have more information for you then. Hopefully we'll have a better understanding of what we are up against. We must all do our part, Ken. I wish to ask you some questions. Time is of the essence, Ken, although I suppose I can answer a few quick questions. Tell me about yourself. I am a servant of Tyr, nothing more and nothing less. I serve Neverwinter as is my duty, and my heart weeps as the city suffers. When Lord Nasher appointed Arabeth to find a cure for the plague, I vowed to stay by my lady's side throughout the ordeal. We are inseparable.
So you and Arabeth are lovers?
Arabeth and I are of one heart, it is true. Is this surprising? We are both disciples of Tyr, and we are both servants of Neverwinter. We draw our strength from each other during these difficult times. In duty, in our faith, and in our love, we will find a way to beat the Wailing Death.
Tell me about Arabeth.
Arabeth is the shining light who must guide our way. She is a paladin of Tyr, and only her courage and devotion to Neverwinter surpass her grace and beauty. When Lord Nasher appointed Arabeth to find a cure for the plague, I vowed to stay by my lady's side throughout the ordeal. We are inseparable.
Tell me about Desther.
Desther is a good man, though the Wailing Death weighs heavily on him. He does not serve Tyr as my lady Arabeth or I do, but his devotion to Helm is most admirable. Desther and his Helmites have been tireless in their efforts to offer what comfort they can to those afflicted by the plague. I only wish Arabeth and Desther could set aside their personal differences. No matter which god we serve, we must all work together in these troubled times.
Tell me about these Waterdavian creatures.
Arabeth is the only one who has the authority to speak of such things freely. You will have to talk to her at the Halls of Justice.
I will meet you at the Halls of Justice within the week, then.
There is much to attend to in the coming week. Arabeth and I will meet you at the temple. May Tyr's blessing be upon you, Ken.
Hey, we leveled up again.
Once again, fighter. Ah, good, we do save those points. So, point and persuade, discipline, and lore. And we can get any ability here. Thug gives us another bonus on persuade checks. I really want to boost persuade as much as I possibly can. Skill focus does a +3. I think we'll do that. Skill focus on persuade. And there we go, which means our persuade skill is 8. Which is as high as we can get it, basically. Alright, nothing else we can get here. We have our training, which is combat training, academy training complete. Okay, out we go. Prelude is done.
In one brutal attack, the promise of those at the Academy had been all but snuffed out. Hope disappeared with the Waterdavian creatures, and the weight of the terrible sickness pressed down on the city once more. Even more chilling, the whispered rumors of enemies seeking to destroy Neverwinter from within had proved true, though the identity of those responsible for the slaughter was as yet unknown. Still, a flicker of hope yet remained, for not all had died in the attack. From the bloody carnage at the Academy, a survivor had stepped forward, a champion to carry the torch in this darkest hour.
And that's us, of course. And we have our quest here. We have a quest log we can speak with, but we can read, but I'm not going to bother with reading it.
You were quick to answer the summons. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to the Halls of Justice.
This is a mistake, Fentic. We know nothing about this whelp. How can you so blindly trust them?
Desther, please. Ken showed great promise through his training in the Academy, and has done even more in the weeks since the attack. Rarely has a recruit shown such potential after so short a training period. If we are to have any hope of finding a cure for the Wailing Death, we need people like Ken in the service of Neverwinter. I am honored to serve Neverwinter, Fenthic.
And I still say we should put our faith in my Helmite brethren, rather than an unproven boy.
Arabeth holds Ken in the highest regard, Desther, and Lord Nasher placed her in charge, not you. Please, Ken, you must forgive Desther. The plague takes a heavy toll on us all, a toll made even greater in the past weeks by the attack on the Academy and the loss of the cure. I understand, Fenthic. These are troubled times. You speak more truth than you know, Ken. Within the Academy walls, the true horror of the Wailing Death has yet to be felt. The quarantine of Neverwinter has done little to halt the spread of the Wailing Death. Bonfires burn night and day as the city watch dispose of the dead, yet the corpses are piled ever higher. It is all we can do to contain the chaos and maintain order within the various city districts. Rumors run rampant and the citizens are on the verge of panic. Rumors. Because the plague cannot be cured by the priests or clerics of the city, some claim it is an unnatural thing sent by an unknown enemy bent on destroying Neverwinter.
The attack on the Academy in these past weeks will only make things worse, Fenthic. Once people learn how Erebeth lost the cure through her lack of faith.
Desther, I will not have you question the faith of my true love. Erebeth believed the Academy to be a safe haven. Anyway, it is not our place to even discuss such things. My Lady Erebeth is in charge, appointed by Lord Nasher himself to stop the Wailing Death. You must talk to her, Ken, as soon as possible. If I may, I want to ask some questions. It is important that you speak with Erebeth soon, Ken, but I will not refuse your request. Ask your questions. I will answer them as best I may, though there are many things only Erebeth has the authority to discuss. What do you know about the attack on the Academy? We learned very little in the week after the attack occurred. You are one of the few who survived, Ken. The instructors were slaughtered, and only a handful of the students are left. You must uphold the legacy of the Academy, Ken, but I know you will be equal to the task. Rarely has a recruit shown as much promise as you. There is little else I can tell you about the attack, I fear. We have yet to uncover the identity of the mysterious assailants. Perhaps Erebeth can tell you more. Is there anything else you need, Ken? Tell me about the plague. Despite the citywide quarantine, the Wailing Death spreads quickly. Even here in the Hall of Justice we have felt the plague's touch, as you can see by the afflicted all around us. Desther and I do what we can to comfort these poor souls, but we can do little else. Not even Neverwinter's most powerful priests can heal or raise those who contract the Wailing Death. Aren't you afraid of the plague yourself?
Our faith protects us. Only the faithless need fear the Wailing Death, as I and my Helmites have proclaimed many times.
Desther, please. No one yet knows how the plague spreads, though contact with the infected does not seem to be a catalyst. Even so, people are burning the bodies and locking themselves indoors just to be safe. People are scared. They're on the verge of panic and even open rebellion, and the City Watch struggles to keep order.
The panic will get worse when people learn of the attack on the Academy and how Erebeth lost the cure.
I will not have you speak ill of the woman I love, Desther. We should not even be discussing this. Erebeth must decide who is given such information. She is the one in charge. Is there anything else? What do you know about a cure for the plague? I am afraid I cannot discuss this with you, Ken. I must obey the chain of command, and my Lady Erebeth is in charge of finding a cure for the Wailing Death.
Tell Ken the truth, Fenthic. Erebeth had the cure, and she lost it, because she trusted those of the Academy over my Helmite brethren.
It's the same thing. What is your role in all of this, Fenthic? I do whatever my Lady Erebeth commands, Ken. Lord Nasher himself appointed her to oversee our efforts to find a cure. He could not have made a better choice. Erebeth has placed me in charge of discovering who is behind the attack on the Academy. If you ever come across such information, you may report it directly to me. And, of course, I do what I can to ease the suffering of those within Castle Never who have been infected with the Wailing Death, although they are beyond my power to save. Tell me about Erebeth. Lady Erebeth de Tilmerand is a paladin who serves Tyr, as do I. She is young, but her faith, courage, and intelligence are beyond question, as is her beauty.
You let your feelings for her cloud your judgment, Fenthic. Your lover is not without her flaws.
Erebeth and I are of one heart and soul, it is true, but that does not make her any less a paragon of virtue. None who serve Neverwinter are more capable than my Lady Erebeth. What do you know about Desther?
He speaks as if I am not even in the room. No matter. I am too busy to waste my time chatting with you anyway.
You must forgive Desther. The strain of the Wailing Death weighs heavily upon us all, but the Helmites are our allies in this dark time. Desther and his followers arrived to offer their aid just before the city was quarantined. They came to help us when no one else dared. Where can I find Lady Erebeth? My Lady Erebeth is in the chamber beyond the north doors. There she works tirelessly to put an end to the plague that ravages Neverwinter. I'll be going now. Go with the blessing of Tyr upon you. Of course.
Had Erebeth delivered the Waterdavian creatures to my Helmites, news of their arrival would not have spread so quickly through the city. We could have kept their location secret and prevented the tragedy that befell the Academy.
Man, you are not very friendly, are you, Desther? door is barred from the other side. That basically means you're not getting through there. Couple nurses
I
here.
greet you.
Is there something I can do for you, sir? Could I ask some questions? I really should be tending the sick, but I can spare a few moments, sir. What can you tell me about the plague? As much as most, less than some, I suppose. I've seen my share of the dead and dying since I started to work here tending the sick. Have you heard anything about a cure for the Wailing Death? There's no cure for the plague. Everybody knows that. All I can do is try to ease their suffering and make their last days less painful. That's it? You haven't heard the rumors about a cure from Waterdeep? A cure from Waterdeep? How are they going to get it here with Neverwinter under quarantine? Throw it up over the walls? You're talking crazy. Is there something else you need? Did you hear anything about the attack on the Academy? I heard Venthic and Desther whispering about it once, but they clammed up as soon as they saw me. That Desther gave me a foul look. What were they saying? Desther was saying the attack was all Arabeth's fault, and Venthic was trying to defend her. That's all I heard. Ask you something else. Have you heard any rumors lately? I've heard my share. Desther and Arabeth are always arguing, and Venthic's always trying to keep the peace. None of them pay any attention to a quiet little nurse going about her duties, so I've heard all sorts of stuff about each and every one of them. Tell me what you've heard about Desther. Arabeth doesn't like him, I know that much. He's got a sharp tongue and a sour face, but I think it's more than that. But it's not really my place to speak of such things. Come now, telling me won't do any harm. So, Desther and his Helmites showed up soon after the plague started, just in time to get locked inside the city when the quarantine hit. Oh, I succeeded. Desther says they came because they heard about Neverwinter's suffering, but it seems like odd timing to Lady Arabeth, or so she told Venthic once. You interested in more of my gossip? Tell me what you've heard about Arabeth. Lady Arabeth's always telling Venthic not to put so much faith in Desther and his Helmites. You know they're lovers? Venthic and Arabeth, I mean. Of course you know, everybody knows. Tell me about Venthic. Poor Venthic. He's caught in the middle between Desther and Arabeth, always ends up having to pick one side or the other when they argue about how to save the city. You'd think he'd always side with Arabeth since they are lovers, but Venthic's an honest man, and when Arabeth is wrong, he's not afraid to tell her so. Can I ask you some directions? I'm here to tend to the sick and the dying, not play tour guide. Besides, all you have to do is go outside the front door of the Hall of Justice. The city core district has every kind of shop, store, or inn you'll ever need, I suspect. Oh, goodbye, then. On your way, then. I've got too many sick and suffering to waste my time on long goodbyes. Thank you for your time. Let us go find and speak with Arabeth. There she is.
Welcome to you. I regret I did not get a chance to introduce myself properly to you while you were training at the Academy. I am Lady Arabeth de Tilmarand, Paladin in the service of Tyr, and the right hand of Nasha Alagondar, Lord of Neverwinter. I have been waiting for you.
I came as quickly as I could, Lady Arabeth.
I have been following your progress since your early training at the Academy. Neverwinter has need of one like you if we are to survive the Wailing Death. The attack on the Academy doused the one faint spark of hope the city had. I need you to help recover that which we have lost.
It will be an honor to serve you, Lady Arabeth.
I knew I could count on you. There are many rumors about the plague, but if you are to aid me in this, it is important you know the truth about the Wailing Death. Our divine healers can do nothing to help those afflicted by the Wailing Death. And even our most powerful magic cannot raise those who succumb to the illness. But a short time ago, we had word that Kelvin Blackstaff Arunson, the famous Archmage of Waterdeep, had discovered a potential cure, one that might be concocted from the essence of 4 rare and magical creatures.
I have heard such rumors before.
Under great secrecy, the 4 creatures were gathered in Waterdeep, then sent here to Neverwinter. As strange a menagerie as any has ever set eyes on. A cockatrice, an intellect devourer, a yonti, and a dryad. I ordered them sent to the Academy, Neverwinter's renowned training institution for adventurers of every ilk. I once studied there myself, and I thought the instructors and students were loyal to Lord Nasher.
So, you think someone within the Academy betrayed you?
The Academy may have been betrayed from within, or perhaps I simply put too much faith in the instructors, students, and staff to keep this news secret, as Desta claims. You were there. You saw the slaughter. The attack caught us unprepared. You are one of only a handful of survivors from the carnage of the Academy. Fenthic and Dester arrived with reinforcements, but during the confusion of battle, the Waterdavian creatures disappeared into the streets of Neverwinter, and our hopes of a cure vanished with them.
Let me guess. You want me to get those creatures back?
Your task in this is twofold. First, find the Waterdavian creatures and bring them back to me, at any cost. We need to harvest components from these creatures if we are to concoct a cure for the Wailing Death. This is your most important duty. Second, we must discover who was behind the attack on the Academy. Any evidence you uncover in this matter should be brought to Fenthic. He is the one assigned the task of unmasking our hidden enemy.
Why did you choose me for this?
You proved yourself during the attack on the Academy. Your bravery and skill are obvious, and I know you are not in league with those who seek to destroy Neverwinter. The City Watch can do little to help in this search. Their numbers are barely enough to keep order in the streets of Neverwinter. Others, like Fenthic or myself, have duties that require we stay here.
How do we even know the creatures are still alive?
By all accounts, the creatures escaped the battle at the Academy unharmed, and there are many reports of strange beasts pouring in from every district of the city.
You must recover the Waterdavian creatures if we are to survive the Wailing Death. The fate of Neverwinter rests on your shoulders now. I will do as you command, Lady Arabeth.
I ask for your discretion in this matter. News of the attack and strange creatures roaming the city will only add to the panic and chaos already in the streets. To aid you in your task, I will give you this Stone of Recall. You will find it to be a valuable tool in your quest.
How does it work?
You can activate the Stone of Recall at any time, and it will instantly teleport you and anyone in your service back here to the Temple of Tyr. Anytime you go through the teleportation portal in Tyr's temple, it will instantly send you and any companions back to the place your stone was last activated.
That's handy.
There is little else I can tell you about this mission. Whenever you need provisions, come speak to me again, and I can sell them to you through the store here at Tyr's temple. Take this gold so you can buy the necessary supplies for your mission. Remember to stock up on healing potions before you go. They will be critical to your survival.
I need to ask you some questions, if I may.
I will do my best to answer what questions I may.
What can you tell me about the attack on the Academy?
It was a slaughter, as you well know. Only a handful of hundreds training and teaching at the Academy survived. As yet, we have not discovered the identity of those behind the attack, but the enemy knew the Waterdavian creatures were there. How they came by that knowledge is a troubling prospect. Take any information concerning who may be behind the attack straight to Fenthic. He is the one I have placed in charge of unmasking our hidden enemy. Is there something else I can help you with?
I want to know more about the Wailing Death.
The first victims were reported several months ago, and within days it had spread to all corners of the city. It was not the first plague Neverwinter has suffered, but it is by far the worst. Unlike other sicknesses, the Wailing Death seems to resist all efforts to cure it, including the divine magic of the priests. Perhaps that is what makes it so terrible.
The room next door is full of plague victims. Aren't you scared of being infected?
The plague does not seem to spread through contact with the infected. Healers tend to the sick without becoming ill, and some who lock themselves alone indoors contract the illness. We have quarantined the city, but that is mostly to help the Watch maintain order. It has done little to halt the spread, though some districts remain unaffected. Perhaps that is what is so terrible about this affliction. There is no rhyme or reason to it, seemingly no way to guard against it, and until we have all the Waterdavian creatures, no way to cure it. Is there something else I can help you with?
I want to know more information on the Waterdavian creatures and this cure.
It was Kelvin Blackstaff Arunson, the Archmage of Waterdeep, who discovered the potential cure. However, we have not even had a chance to test it. The creatures were taken from us too quickly. If Blackstaff is right, the cure requires feathers from a cockatrice, the brain of an intellect devourer, blood from a Yonti, and a lock of hair freshly plucked from a dryad's head. Is there more you would know? Any information about the creatures I can provide to help you locate them will be freely given, of course.
It will help greatly. Let's start by telling me about the cockatrice.
A cockatrice resembles a hybrid of chicken, lizard, and bat. They are repulsive animals that can petrify opponents. You must be extremely cautious when dealing with this beast. Is there more you would know?
What about the
information
Yonti?
about the Yonti are a race of beings whose bloodlines are a mixture of human and snake. They can be any combination of snake and human characteristics. They are highly intelligent, and many of the creatures practice magic. It is rumored that some even have the ability to alter their shape. Is there more you would know?
How about the Intellect Devourer?
The Intellect Devourer is a truly horrible entity, resembling a large fleshy brains with legs. It can dominate the minds of its victims so that it may devour their very thoughts. Is there more you would know?
How about the Dryad?
And she is like most of her kind, a beautiful, elusive forest sprite whose charms transcend mere physical appearance. Out of charity, she came willingly to help us when she learned of our need. However, the city is strange to her and unsettling. When the attack came, I suspect she fled in panicked terror, and now is lost among the unfamiliar streets and buildings of Neverwinter. If you find her, treat her with the respect and kindness she deserves. She is very brave to leave her wood to come to our aid. Is there more you would know?
If I may
Any
ask, what right do
information
you
about
have
the
to kill
creatures
these
I can
creatures to
provide to
save
help you
yourselves?
locate a single drop of blood, a single scale, a lock of hair. All these can be collected with no harm to the creatures. Only the monstrously evil Intellect Devourer needs be slain to collect the reagent. Is there more you would know?
I suppose that is
Any
fair.
information?
That's all I
Is
need
there
to know
something
about
else
them.
I can help you with?
Where can I get some supplies?
I have no equipment to spare. All we have was given to the City Watch to help them maintain order.
Perhaps I could sell you some things from the Temple
The
Laundry.
City Core has all manner of shops to supply you with whatever you might need.
And yes, I will arrange to sell you whatever I can. When you next come back, ask me for temple services. If I don't have something...
Is there something else I can help you?
I
I
wanna
will
ask
do
about
my
something
best to
else.
answer your questions.
It would be nice to know a little more about the lady I'm working for.
I am not one to boast of my accomplishments. Suffice to say that I am a paladin of Tyr, and I am honored Lord Nasher has placed me in charge of finding a cure for the Wailing Death. Is there anything else?
Tell me about Fenthic.
It is no secret that Fenthic and I are lovers. Our feelings for each other are only matched by our devotion to Tyr and our loyalty to Neverwinter. Although Lord Nasher has placed me in charge of finding a cure for the plague, I could not do this without Fenthic's help. His faith and conviction are a comfort to me in times of darkness. Is there anything else?
And what do you think of Desther?
I think the Hellmite is arrogant, sanctimonious, self-righteous, and holier than thou. Forgive me for being so blunt, but Desther and I do not see eye to eye. Desther challenges my every decision on general principle, or so it would seem. He is constantly accusing me of abandoning my faith and not trusting enough in the power of the divine.
And why do you put up with him?
Sometimes I think Desther and his Hellmites do more to hinder my efforts than help them. But Fenthic assures me they bring hope to the city, and hope is something the people desperately need. Is there anything else?
Do you have any information on where the creatures might be?
There are many rumors, and I would not like to give you any false leads. However, there is something that seems reliable. There have been some promising reports from the prison district. Several eyewitness accounts indicate a strange creatures wandering the area, or was a short time ago. But there is no guarantee the reports are accurate. The creatures could be in any one of the city districts. I shall leave it up to you where you want to take your search. Is there anything else?
No, there is nothing. Goodbye.
Farewell. May Tyr guide your steps.
But before I leave,
Welcome. Do you
I
have
require
news of-
temple services. Specifically, I have a few things I need to sell. Sell that. 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 Sell... Oh, those do have value. And sell that. And now a little rearranging of things here. There we go. That'll more or less do it. There, that'll be fine. As for this is the basic setup for things here, for gear and the like that we can buy. A lot of it is very expensive. Not really anything we can use. Ah, cloaks. Yes, there were cloaks in the game before, but there was a later patch that allowed cloaks to actually appear on you. I remember that. Not much in the weapons area. We have many scrolls and the like. Okay, we can actually use more than just restoration. We can also remove disease and poison, remove blindness and deafness, and raise dead with these scrolls. Plenty of magic items, not anything I'm going to buy, and a few random miscellaneous things which we don't need. Indeed. Some pretty good stuff here, including good armor. I will eventually get a tower shield, but I can wait for it. And that is where I think I'm going to end this episode. Next episode, we will move on to explore the rest of this temple, and then move on into the city core. We have a direction that we can go to after we explore the city core. And we will go out and do that in the next episode. Till then, I am Chester44. That is Ken Daniels. This has been a Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights, and I shall see you all next time.